another video. So, hello, Africans. Um, the country of Burkina Faso that I know by now that many people are aware of. Like for the longest time, people didn't really know there was a country called Burkina Faso. Anyway, I don't even know why I started with that. Um, yeah, by now many Africans are talking about Burkina Faso, about the good things that are happening there. Um, the problem is, I need to move my microphone because now it looks great. Um, okay, there we go. So, for the longest time, I think Africans have been discussing visas and visa frees and visa fees, visa free fees. As Africans, should we be required to present visas as we travel in our continent, or you know what I mean? And this has been trending a lot recently. Like countries like Botswana, Namibia, for the longest time now, I think this is their fifth year, if I'm not mistaken, fourth, they have scrapped passport altogether. You can travel using your nation identity card to go to one of those two nations. And I think Zambia have joined the mix. So if you're in Namibia and Botswana and Zambia, you can, I don't know if that happened between Namibia and Zambia, by the way. Maybe just Namibia and Botswana and Zambia, which is odd. But anyway, so countries, African leaders are trying to figure out what's the best way to get Africans to move between each country. So already you have a lot of movement between Namibia and Botswana, and you already have a lot of movement between Zambia and Botswana. So why don't we just like make it easier so that, you know, the identities are meshed in the system and what. And that seems reasonably safe way to do it. And they have taken that step. Well, Burkina Faso have joined, and they have made even a bigger deal out of this. So basically, Africans used to apply for visas to go to Burkina Faso, and they pay a certain amount for the processing and all the things that you have to pay for when you apply for a visa. But now they're saying, you know what? For all Africans who are going to Burkina Faso, you can still apply for the visa, but you won't have to pay anything, which is like good news. Good news for people who are traveling between those countries, and I'm assuming a lot of people from West Africa are traveling there now. And also, like, there's lots of people interested in going to Burkina Faso now that it's trending and all the things. The thing about the situation in Burkina Faso is that obviously on social media it's always painted as a great place to be. If you're not going there, you are missing out. However, there are lots of people who would rather not tell you about the real stuff that is going on in there. And for you to even get all this information, you have to do some intensive searching. Because I am telling you, it's going to be really rare to get proper information. And to my surprise, there's lots of Black American content creators who are, I guess, interested in going to Burkina And they are disappointed that Burkina Faso is not extending the citizenship program to them. And it seems like they're talking about it, but in a good way. And a lot of people always make excuses like, yeah, he's just being cautious, he doesn't want to, mix himself, General Langley, all these excuses. And by the way, thank you so much for joining us. Honestly speaking, and goes to all African American people who wants to go to Africa and maybe live there, have a great life there, maybe start a life. Probably your future children might just be born there. For now, I think you should choose a different country. And this has nothing to do with like the leadership and whatnot. It's just the situation right there, right now. You cannot leave a country like the USA and go to a country like Burkina Faso. There are so many other countries in Africa that you can go to. Obviously, every African country has its own problems, but just the situation in Burkina Faso. Here's a picture I want to paint for you guys. Imagine somebody who's living next door to Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, no, Niger, I think. And they want to go from the capital city of Niger to Burkina Faso. Do you know that they have to go to either Togo or Ivory Coast to safely get to Burkina Faso? This is not only sad, but it's also not financially okay. It's a beautiful day actually today. Yeah, but I wanted to say something. I'm not gonna say it because people might think I'm a hater. Anyway, this is just a warning because I've seen a lot of videos from African American travelers who are going to these African countries, and the disappointment not only stays in that certain country, is then labeled as an African problem, if you know what I mean. So before you go to countries like Burkina Faso, make sure you are prepared, where you know where you're going. I hear the city is pretty safe, like the city of Burkina Faso. Ouagadougou is really safe, and other towns obviously. But don't just go. You will be disappointed, and in an extreme manner, you might be putting your life in danger. This is happening, obviously many news outlets, especially in Burkina Faso, are not supposed to be talking about this. That's why you won't see any news outlet in Burkina Faso mentioning any of these things that I'm telling you right now, because they're not legally required to say that unless they risk losing their business licenses. And it happened, by the way, in Burkina Faso during this current administration. So do your intensive research, and if you're going to go to Burkina Faso, you have to go to the city, and also I think you just have to be careful. I don't have enough information on how to go about that, but I know that there are other optional countries that, especially for newer travelers, if you are like traveling from any other African nation, you want to go to Western Africa. Plenty of other option countries, and I know Burkina Faso is like hot right now because it's trending. The leader is like seen as this strong leader, but yeah, I don't think it's safe for just anybody to go right now. Yeah, that's basically it, man. So the reason why you don't hear much about Burkina Faso's real current situation is because, I don't know, I spent so much time watching the news from Burkina Faso. Everything just kind of evolved around what the leader is doing, which is really concerning. I have made videos way, I think last year, saying this leader is a dictator. And he is. Because the news has to have some kind of military personnel doing some public assistance type of a thing, kind of painting the military in this like, they're really doing a great job around the country. They're cleaning up, they're doing this. And if anybody, there was actually a video recently of some lady, I think she lives in Burkina Faso, but she's from Nigeria, saying, you know what, this is my street in the place I'm at in Burkina Faso. A lot of people were saying, Rome was not built in one day. Like, that's actually true. Rome was not. So there's kind of the imperfections of what you get from Burkina Faso are received with hope and, just wait until the future is there, and then maybe you can criticize. But I don't think that what people are hoping to see in the future, we're going to live long enough to see it. It's going to take a really, really long time and possibly a different leader to take Burkina Faso to where it ought to be. That is just the reasonable that's just the reasonable reasoning of this whole situation. Now that the videos like this are coming out from people like me who are not afraid to not follow the popular pattern, just be cautious when you go to countries like this, because some people might say, okay, I mean, it's fine, just let people go wherever they want to go. It doesn't matter whether they have good experience or bad experience in those countries. But the thing is that once a person travels to the continent of Africa, whether it's a specific country out there, they get a bad experience. It's not mainly just about that country, it's the whole continent. So the whole continent carries a lot of sorry, the sun is in an odd place. A lot of countries in Africa are just summed up in whatever other African countries are doing. If somebody goes to South Africa and get a really good experience, all of a sudden, everybody should go to Africa. And then when they go to when they go to Nigeria and get a bad experience, then the whole continent is bad. So this is why also, as people from the continent, should stand up and talk about these things, because it's not only damaging one country, it's damaging the whole continent. This is why we also cannot move forward, because one bad apple makes the whole other apples rot. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. I know a lot of people don't stand for this. I would rather be saying, how beautiful the streets are in Burkina Faso. You should go. My advice from what I'm gathering right now is do not go. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. If you're here for the first time, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell too, so you don't miss any of the uploads on this channel. If you have a question, leave it down below and I will get to it. I promise.